and today I'm going to try to do the How Well Do I Know My Books challenge. This challenge was created by Jessie the Reader, and I'm doing it a little differently since I'm only going to use my classics shelves. This is the How Well Do I Know My Classics challenge. I have 18 shelves here, and I'm going to use numbers to lead me to a particular book on that shelf, and then I have to answer questions about that shelf. Some people have been using Twitter to give them random numbers, but I just used a random number generator, and I wrote down all the numbers for each one. I have not looked ahead at any of these, though, so I do not know what these random numbers are going to give me. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you know that Books for MKs is a charity that donates books to missionary kids. Today's MK shout out goes to Audra, who is 7 years old and lives with her family in Kenya. She loves books about African history, and she loves I Spy books. If you want to donate to Audra and children like her, you can donate to the Books for MKs charity at GoFundMe.com. And don't forget to subscribe and click on that little notification bell. And let's get straight into this challenge. The first one is shelf number 3 and book 8. Okay, let's find it. So shelf 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Without looking at the description, tell us what the book is about. This is The Courtship of Miles Standish by Longfellow. This is about Miles Standish, and he's trying to court a woman, and oh my gosh. I have read this, I promise. I have read this book. It's been a long time. I don't remember anything about it. I remember absolutely nothing about this book other than that Miles is courting someone. Oh, I'm not sure if there's a love triangle or something, or she has another suitor maybe, or I don't know. I don't remember. I think I fail at this one. The next random numbers are 4 and 10. Without looking it up, what is the genre of this book? It's Good Wives by Louisa May Alcott, which is the second half of Little Women. I guess I would say this one is romance because this is the part of the story where they're all getting married. So, romance, we'll go with that. The next one is, without looking at the book, you have to say what's on the cover. So I can't actually take it out. But the shelf is 5 and the book is number 16. So it's Alexandre Dumas, the Vicomte de Bragelonne, and I have no clue what's on the cover. I have absolutely no idea. Hey, it's a picture of a dude. No clue. I haven't read this one yet, so I just don't know. The next random numbers are 8 and 18. It is C.S. Forrester's Lord Hornblower. Without looking it up, what is the main character's name? The main character's name is Horatio Hornblower. That's pretty easy. Shelf 2 and book 1, without looking, name a side character. This is My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier, and a side character. There's a side character named Mary, I think. Nope, I was wrong. Her name isn't Mary, her name is Louise. So I definitely failed that one. The next one is shelf 16, book 2. Guess how many pages the book has without looking. This is Stories from Dickens, and it's stories that have been retold for children. And I'm gonna guess it has 320 pages. Let's see. Nope, it has 281. So, no, I was too far off. The next one is shelf 11, book 4. Without looking it up, what rating did you give this book? It's Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. I'm probably going to say I gave this 5 stars. I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 stars. Shelf 18, book 10. Without looking, where does this book take place? This is Mark Twain's Pudd'nhead Wilson, and it takes place in Missouri. I bet it's Missouri because most of Mark Twain's books are in Missouri. Let's see. Oh, it says, the scene of this chronicle is the town of Dawson's Landing on the Missouri side of the Mississippi. Yes, thank you, Mark Twain, for always setting all your books in Missouri. Shelf 1, Book 9, Without Looking, what are the parents' names? Okay, Shelf 1, Book 9. So this is the Brownings, Letters and Poetry. The parents' names, I don't know. What were their parents' names? Mr. and Mrs. Browning? I guess I'll count that. Mr. and Mrs. Browning and Mr. and Mrs. Barrett. Shelf 6, Book 9, Without Looking at the hardback, what color is the book under the dust jacket? So if I get to one that doesn't have a dust jacket, I'll just keep counting further until I find one with a dust jacket. All right, so Book 9 did not have a dust jacket, but At the Foot of the Rainbow by Gene Stratton Porter does have a dust jacket. I feel like this is gray underneath. So let's take a look. It's actually more kind of a blue. It's kind of a bluish gray. It's sort of gray. I'll give it to myself. It's kind of a grayish color. It's fine. Book 13, Shelf 13, Book 1, Without Looking, is there anything on the hardback like an imprint or an image underneath the dust jacket? So I just kept counting until I got to one that has a dust jacket. This is Wilkie Collins. It's A Brief Life of Wilkie Collins by Peter Ackroyd. So does it have something on underneath? I have no clue. I don't think I've ever looked underneath this one. Let's see what it has. Nothing. There's nothing really there. It's just plain on the underneath. So, oh well. Shelf 7, Book 18, Without Taking the Dust Jacket Off, what is the color of the font on the hardback? So again, I'll just keep counting until I get to one with a dust jacket. So 718. Oh, I had to count a while before I could find one that actually has a dust jacket. And this is Men of Iron by Howard Pyle. Okay, I think that underneath here, the lettering is probably white or some kind of silvery white. Oh, well, this lettering is white. It looks just like the front. This lettering is black, but the lettering is white. I had it right. Ha-ha! My God, this is a long tag. This is taking forever. Okay, Shelf 15, Book 4. Do the chapters have titles or are they just numbered? This is No Name by Wilkie Collins, and I'm going to say that the chapters are just numbered. There are no title chapters. Yep, just numbers, no titles for the chapters. Let's see. Shelf 9, Book 17, does it have an award on it? So I can't look at the cover to see whether or not it has an award. So the book is A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I can already tell it doesn't have an award on it. Obviously, like, it's Shakespeare. It gets all the awards, I guess. But it doesn't have, like, a little sticker on it that says, it won this award. You know, it's Shakespeare, so what you gonna do? Shelf 10, Book 7. Does this book have any author blurbs on the front cover? So the book is Green Mantle by John Buchan. And I'm going to say that it does have a little blurb, an author blurb for like another book or for the author or something. Okay, let's see what it says. Ah, no, it doesn't. I thought maybe it did. Although it has, it kind of has like a little blurby thing on the back, but it doesn't have it on the front cover. Man, phooey. All right, well, I missed that one. Shelf 8, Book 14, does the book have a description on the back? So it is Ship of the Line, which is part of the Hornblower series, and yes, it does have a description on the back. And let's look. Ta-da! Description. Yes. So this is Ship of the Line, which is one of my favorites in the Hornblower series. Shelf 12, Book 16, does this book have an author photo? Ah. Number 16 is Rob Roy by Sir Walter Scott. And I'm going to say that yes, there is an author photo, not on the cover, but on the inside author bio that'll come at towards the beginning of the book. So let's take a look. Rob Roy, No author photo on the cover, but on the inside, come on, photo, introduction. Oh no, nope. Nope, there's no photo. Man, I thought when they did like the little, you know, the little bio in the beginning that maybe there would be a photo, but there's not. Shelf 1, Book 12, is this author using a pen name? The 12th book is Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier, and I believe that is her real name. I don't think that Daphne du Maurier is a pen name. I think that's her real name. Okay, I looked it up and I was right. Daphne du Maurier is her real name. And now on to the second page. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. Shelf 6, Book 12. What POV is this book written in? Is it first person or third person, or what is it? This is I Will Repay by Baroness Amuska Orczy. This is one of the books in the Scarlet Pimpernel series. And I am going to say that this is written with like an all-knowing narrator who tells you what's going on in the characters' minds. So it's third person. Yep, I was right. It's an all-knowing narrator. Shelf 2, Book 12. Are there any pictures or graphics in this book? Oh boy, I'm not sure about this. This is The Spoils of Poynton by Henry James, and I have never read this because I'm not a huge fan of Henry James. Haven't read this one yet. I am going to say that no, there are no pictures or graphics in this book. I don't see any. Haha, I was correct. There are no pictures or graphics. Shelf 18, Book 8. Does this book have an epilogue? We get another Mark Twain because most of Shelf 18 is just a whole bunch of Mark Twain. This is The Prince and the Pauper. I am going to say that yes, there is an epilogue to The Prince and the Pauper. Let's take a look. Okay, so it doesn't say epilogue, it says conclusion, but that totally counts as an epilogue. That is absolutely the same thing. It's a separate chapter at the end, you know, like it has chapter 32 and then conclusion. It doesn't say chapter, it says conclusion. So that's an epilogue. I was totally right. Shelf 3, Book 1. Does this book have a prologue? Book 1 is The Five Little Peppers at School. I can't remember if I've read this one. I know I've read several of the Five Little Peppers books, but I can't remember this one. I'm going to say no prologue for this one. Oh, it's falling apart. Careful. You know what? Actually, this edition is so falling apart that the first 16 pages are missing. Oh no, it starts on page 17. The world will never know if this book has a prologue or not. But we can look at the contents and it just starts with chapter 1. There's no prologue. So I'm kind of right. So, Shelf 17, Book 14. Is this book signed? It is Lilith by George MacDonald. This is definitely not signed. I'm pretty sure this particular edition was published after George MacDonald was dead. So, you know, not signed, obviously. It's signed by me. I put my name in the front, but that's about it. Shelf 6, Book 4. Do the page numbers have a design above or below them, or no design at all? This is A Table Near the Band by A.A. Milne, you know, the author of Winnie the Pooh. He also wrote for adults. So I'm going to say that the page numbers are plain, that there's no design around them at all. And the page numbers are plain, no design, just plain old page numbers. Shelf 16, Book 10. Do the chapter headers have designs on them? Okay. It is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I'm going to say that the chapter headers are plain and they do not have any designs around them. Very plain chapter headers, literally nothing fancy about these chapters. Shelf 3, Book 11. Are the acknowledgments in the front or the back of the book? This is getting really specific. So in order to count to 11, I had to go over to the next shelf, and it is this old edition of Little Women. So I'm going to say that their acknowledgements are, well, do acknowledgements mean like the dedication or acknowledgements? I'm going to say there are no acknowledgements. Yeah, no acknowledgements in the front and no acknowledgements in the back, and not even a dedication. There's nothing there. So these old books, they didn't have time for that. Okay, shelf 14, book 3. What year was this book published? Oh, this is gonna get interesting. All right. This is The Celestial Railroad and Other Stories by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I'm gonna say, don't look. I'm gonna say that this was published in 1892. Oh, dang it, he died in 1864. Phooey. Man, phooey. He died like 30 years before. Let's see. Yeah, these are all short stories, and it shows here the contents and when they were all published. And they're all published between like 1832 all the way up to 1843. So I was off by about 50 years. So, and finally, the last one, let's see, shelf 12, book 5. What year did you read this book? Oh, that'll be interesting. It is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I'm going to say I first read this in college, probably in like an English lit class, you know. Probably not freshman year, probably sophomore year, so that would make it 2001 or 2002. Well, I looked it up on my Goodreads and I can see where I read it, but it doesn't say when I read it because, you know, Goodreads wasn't around back in 2001. But I'm pretty sure that that's when I read it. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself this one. Okay, that is the entire challenge. That took forever. Out of 23 questions, I only missed 8. So not too bad. I think I know my classics pretty well. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know, have you done this challenge? Please link it down below because I want to see how you did. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.